If you've been trying for a long time to reduce the fat that accumulates in your abdomen and feel like nothing works, I want you to know that you are not alone. Today, I'm going to help you understand why those miracle tricks that appear everywhere don't produce real results, and what path can actually lead to genuine improvement. This topic is important because many of you are still stuck in methods that promise quick changes but only create frustration and exhaustion. To give you an idea of the magnitude of the problem, I recently analyzed in depth dozens of the most popular videos about losing belly fat. Together, they had billions of views, and almost all followed the same pattern, promising massive fat reduction in a week with just a few minutes of exercise per day. But these promises don't align with how the human body really works. It's not out of malice. They simply don't understand that belly fat is a sign of metabolic imbalance, not just excess calories. I want to remind you that if you find this content helpful, you can subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. This way, you won't miss any of the videos I constantly upload to help you take care of your health in a practical and understandable way. Many of these videos claim that a few quick movements or a couple of magic drinks will shrink your belly. Others don't even mention diet, as if metabolism had nothing to do with what you eat daily. And among thousands of suggestions, only a small fraction explain the true causes of the problem and what's happening inside the body. When I reviewed all this content, I thought of what I see every day in my practice. I remember a patient named Julio, 67 years old. He had spent months following exercise routines he saw online, convinced he would burn belly fat that way. But after 3 weeks, he had only lost some water weight and felt defeated. When I explained that his difficulty wasn't due to lack of effort, but the metabolism blocked by years of poor guidance, I saw a mix of relief and surprise in his eyes. That is exactly what I want you to understand today. As a society, we keep looking for shortcuts. We want instant results, even when the problem has been developing for decades. In countries like ours, we spend fortunes treating advanced illnesses but very little preventing them. The same happens with these videos. They focus on the superficial, on solutions that take minutes, and ignore what truly matters. The real obstacle isn't your willpower. The real obstacle is that most of these contents, perhaps unintentionally, hide the root of the problem. Persistent belly fat is often linked to a metabolic imbalance, especially insulin resistance. And that imbalance often appears not just because we overeat, but because we've learned to eat very tasty foods that are low in nutrients. When your diet is full of ultra-processed foods, sugar, or white flour, you're consuming foods that trick your brain. They give temporary pleasure but almost no real nutritional value. You end up eating more, your insulin rises, and your body starts storing fat. If this continues, chronic inflammation develops, further worsening insulin resistance. This is a cycle that cannot be broken with a quick trick or 5-minute exercises. You need to know this. Calories matter, yes, but they are not the main issue. What truly determines your metabolic state is how those calories affect your hormones, especially insulin. The hardest fat to eliminate is visceral fat, the one tucked between your organs. And that fat doesn't respond the same way to everyone, especially not to generic workouts or quick routines. Here's the key. If you have insulin resistance, your body doesn't use fat as its main energy source. It keeps it stored. That's why, even if you exercise, your body continues relying on glucose for fuel and cannot efficiently access your fat reserves. When you start exercising without correcting your metabolism, the first thing you lose isn't fat, it's glycogen. And glycogen is always stored with a lot of water. That's why you may notice initial weight loss, but it isn't real fat. Then comes fatigue, shortness of breath, and muscle burning from lactic acid buildup. That's when cravings for carbohydrates hit hard. Your body panics because it's out of immediate energy and wants to restore it at all costs. This is not your fault. It's simply how your metabolism is functioning right now. In the next block, I'll explain why it's essential to correct these foundations so that your body can start using stored fat and truly change from the inside out. If you feel stuck because your belly fat won't go away, it's crucial to understand what's happening inside your body. You have fat reserves, but your body can't access them. It's as if that fat exists but isn't available to be used as energy. When you try to expend energy, your body goes into defense mode. It slows your metabolism and protects those reserves because it can't reach them. This means that at first you may lose a little weight, but most of it is water. When that loss stops, frustration sets in, effort seems useless, and sometimes you regain what you lost, or even a bit more. This is a very common pattern, and many of you have probably experienced it. But don't worry, later we'll see real and practical solutions. A key point I need to explain is how intense exercise affects people with insulin resistance. When your metabolism is impaired and your body cannot generate energy properly, exercise can become enormous stress for the entire system. If you rely almost entirely on glucose as energy, you simply won't burn stored fat. Your body starts releasing more cortisol, the stress hormone, which raises blood sugar and triggers cravings, especially for sweets. This is a central issue. Cortisol is closely linked to belly fat. While insulin affects fat throughout the body, visceral fat responds directly to cortisol. When these hormones become unbalanced, your adrenal glands are overloaded and your thyroid may slow down, further slowing your metabolism. I've seen this pattern in many patients. For example, Luis, 65, came to my office frustrated because he exercised intensely every day without seeing results. His metabolism was so affected that each workout was painful and discouraging. Only when we adjusted his diet and improved his insulin sensitivity did his body start responding, and he began losing abdominal fat in a sustainable way. Another effect of insulin resistance is lactic acid buildup during exercise. This causes intense muscle burning and makes you feel extremely out of shape, even if your fitness is good. That discomfort can make you quit early. This is why it's important to understand that a damaged metabolism cannot simply be trained with brute force. It must be repaired first. But don't get me wrong, exercise is not optional. We all need to move, but we must choose the right activity for our current state. Keeping workouts in an aerobic range is crucial, regardless of how fit you feel. The key is to gradually improve your metabolism and insulin sensitivity before chasing rapid results with extreme routines. A practical and essential step is to learn to reduce meal frequency so your body produces less insulin. Eating less often and focusing on foods that don't spike blood sugar helps your metabolism recover and become more efficient at using fat for energy. For example, the 16-8 rule can be a good starting point. Eat within an 8-hour window and fast for 16 hours. If you sleep 8 hours, half of the fast is already covered effortlessly. Adjust your meal times to your daily routine. You can have a later breakfast and early dinner, or eat at noon and mid-afternoon, whatever works best for you. This pattern keeps insulin levels low for extended periods, helping heal your metabolism and improve insulin sensitivity. Another essential step is choosing the right foods. Avoid processed foods and refined sugars. Opt for natural foods, rich in healthy fats and low in refined carbs. This doesn't mean everyone must follow a keto diet. For most, a paleo or Mediterranean-style approach is sufficient. Natural foods our ancestors would have eaten, avoiding industrial products, sugar, and white flour. The most important thing is to understand that this isn't a diet, but a way of eating aligned with how our bodies evolved. Eating simply, in fewer meals, and prioritizing natural foods helps balance key hormones like insulin and cortisol, restoring an efficient metabolism. Finally, remember that sleep and stress management are decisive factors. Poor or insufficient sleep can increase insulin resistance by up to 25% after just one night. This raises cortisol and makes any effort to reduce belly fat much harder. That's why, along with proper nutrition and exercise, taking care of your rest and stress is a fundamental part of the strategy. Regarding exercise, forget endless crunches or forced burning. The key is moving correctly for your current condition, starting with simple activities you can sustain daily. I've even shown this to my patients in practical videos, such as safe squatting routines adapted to each individual. If your goal is finally to burn abdominal fat and improve your metabolism, the most important thing is to move correctly and consistently. Strength training is very useful, but it's not about extreme effort or unbearable burning. Muscles are essential for your well-being, quality of life, and longevity. You can use resistance bands or light dumbbells, performing moderate exercises where you feel only mild effort. Never try to force results with overloads your body cannot handle. The real key is aerobic exercise. For most people, this simply means walking. And the sign that you're doing it correctly is simple. While walking, you should be able to hold a conversation, or at least break your sentences into two parts. If you start gasping for air, your body stops burning fat because it's not working efficiently. Metabolism functions properly when it's activated with oxygen. That's aerobic exercise. When you meet this criterion, your body begins using fat as energy, regardless of your starting level or how slowly you need to begin. Even with moderate effort, active muscles can absorb glucose without the need for insulin. Over time, your body learns to use stored fat as fuel. But you have to be realistic. If your metabolism has been deteriorating for decades, there won't be drastic changes overnight. Visible results take time, though internal adjustments begin in the first week. During the first 2 to 4 weeks, your body gradually learns to use fat. Healthy metabolic pathways are activated, and your system starts recognizing and taking advantage of the right energy sources. With consistency, good nutrition, and proper exercise, in 2 to 3 months you'll notice changes in your body and improvements in your blood profile, lower triglycerides, better liver function, and more stable blood glucose levels. Some patients with insulin resistance see rapid improvements, while others need more time. For example, Carmen, 68, came to me exhausted after trying extreme diets and exercise routines without success. We started with short walks, natural meals, and blood sugar management, and in just 3 months, her energy increased, her waistline decreased, and her blood work showed significant improvements. Stories like Carmen's show that progress is possible, step by step, and that we are not alone on this journey. If you follow these strategies for 6 to 12 months, you will achieve deep and lasting recovery. You'll feel more energized, your metabolism will normalize, and your body will become metabolically flexible. Then you can increase exercise intensity and add other types of movement you enjoy, always respecting your condition and pace. Now, I want to speak to you honestly. Much of the information circulating online today doesn't consider the reality of a damaged metabolism, especially when it comes to visceral belly fat. Many gurus promise fast results, but their experience is limited. They haven't lived through the years of metabolic decline that you may have. Most are in their 20s or 30s, and their bodies respond very differently. That's why promises of radical changes in just a few days aren't realistic. What is real is that you can take control of your health, learn to understand your body, and heal your metabolism. Here's the good news: you found this video. That step alone means you're more informed than most and ready to apply effective strategies that target the root of the problem, not just the symptoms. I invite you to subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and share these tips with family and friends, because every day we upload new content to help you improve your health in a practical and safe way. Take advantage of this space to learn, grow, and care for your body with real and reliable knowledge. Before we finish, I want to invite you to a moment of reflection. Thank God for life, for the opportunity to learn, and for being able to make choices that improve your health. Every step you take toward a healthier metabolism is a gift that strengthens your body and well-being. Here on the Dr. Gabriel Mena channel, we are happy to accompany you on your path toward healthier habits. Tomorrow there will be a new video, and I invite you to watch it to continue learning and improving your quality of life. Remember, here you find valuable, practical, and approachable information designed to help you and your loved ones feel better every day.